Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello, you're watching ThePrint. This is Sanya Dhingra, a special correspondent with ThePrint. Most of us are by now familiar with the debate around vaccinations in the country and how the central government is being criticized widely for sort of bundling up the vaccination policy in the country over the last 1 year and not preparing India well enough at a time when a very deadly second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic has hit us this year. However, there is another vaccination bundle up that has gone unnoticed over the last 2 years or so. This vaccination bundle up is not for vaccinations meant for human beings but for animals, for cattle, buffaloes, goats, etc. Let me explain to you what this vaccination program is, why it's important, what are its financial implications. In 2019, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the National Animal Disease Control Program and a budget outlay of rupees 13,000 crores was set aside for this program. Under this scheme, 500 million animals were to be vaccinated over the next 5 years, and two diseases were promised to be eradicated over the next 5 years or so through this program: the foot and mouth disease and brucellosis. Now remember, foot and mouth disease is something that India has known for almost a century now, and India remains one of the very few countries in the world to still be grappling with this disease among animals, which actually causes losses to the tunes of thousands of crores for farmers and a lot of animal suffering, of course. Now, what happens after the Prime Minister announces this scheme? The centre very swiftly sends orders for the manufacturing of vaccines against these two diseases. The centre is meant under this scheme to actually procure all the vaccines and then distribute them to the states. So the centre bears the entire cost for the scheme. In 2019, the centre purchased vaccines worth rupees 400 crores from its manufacturers and started to distribute these vaccines to all the states. What happens now, a few months later, reports and complaints actually of farmers start coming in that even after animals were vaccinated, they were still getting diseased. The vaccination meant for the foot and mouth disease was not actually protecting the animals from the foot and mouth disease. The centre is sort of forced to take cognizance of some of the complaints, and it is later found that the centre actually sent all these vaccines to different states without getting the test results for the vaccines. Now, when we spoke to veterinary experts across the country for this story, we were told the obvious norm when it comes to vaccination is that vaccines are first pre-tested and then administered on any species, and it is absolutely unheard of that untested vaccines would be administered on millions of animals, and crores of rupees would actually be spent on these vaccines to send them across the country without even knowing their efficacy. Now, when those test results came in, between September to December 2020, it's found that the centre wrote to different states saying that the vaccination program needs to be urgently withheld, needs to be stopped because the vaccines are found to be ineffective. Basically, the vaccines serve no purpose. So our sources in the government told us that in addition to the 400 crore rupees that was spent on procuring these vaccines, in 2019 and 2020, the centre also spent an additional 1250 crores to actually send the vaccines across the country, to actually pay people who were administering the vaccines on animals, to store these vaccines, to procure syringes meant to administer these vaccines and so on. So, a ballpark figure would be that the centre spent about 16 to 1700 crore rupees in 2019 and 2020 on a vaccination program, without testing the vaccines. Now officials obviously insist that the vaccination program, they insist, has not fallen flat on its face, that they are restarting the vaccination program with the same manufacturers, but this time around they are very particular about the quality control and the testing, and distribution will start later this month, they told us, only after being after the vaccines are thoroughly tested and approved. However, the reason we are talking about this story right now is because India is at this point grappling with a massive vaccination crisis for COVID-19 as well, and this report aims to underscore another vaccination bundle up which is not caused to human beings but to animals, and has caused a loss of hundreds of crores of rupees to the government already. Please do read our report on ThePrint.in and keep following us on our YouTube channel for more updates. This is Anya signing off for now.